So we're gonna start with Lewis.
People say, Kevin, how probably is Kevin? Do you think I would not like to play Kevin? No, I don't want Kevin play. Yeah, the guy, he has the most talents in the final third and the other one. No, I don't want it. It's a personal problem with him. I've been 9 years together. He delivered to me the big success in this club, and I'm desperate to have his best. And I want desperate 5 goals and assists for Phil that last season had, and the goal assists from Kevin, and the goals assists from Jeremy, and goals assists from a little less from Jack, or from Savinho, or from Gundo, the 5 assists. Both goals and assists for these 4 or 5 players, 5. Not take 20, 30, 40, no. Just 5 goals and assists for these 4 or 5 players. We'll be top of the league. But why not happen? They were not here. They were injured. They were not ready. So this is the bigger problem that I think I have.
You heard the man. And honestly, you can do one if you're kind of one of those people who are just like, KDB and Pep, are they on at odds? It's just like, at this point, we're going through this slump, and this is what you're doing. This is why they're being bad. They're playing bad. It's because that they low-key hate each other, and that's why he's going to San Diego. I don't know. But if City can get the right players in their favorite positions, you can see the talent. The lads in Sky Blue look like the club we've known and loved for the previous 4 seasons against Nottingham Forest. And then Crystal Palace when we don't, Bernardo Silva, post-Crystal Palace, gave his honest thoughts on the squad.
So important. If the squad is this short, it's always so difficult for all the players to play 3 days after 3 days. Of course, we don't feel sorry for ourselves, and we have to fight anyway. But the reality is, right now, it's just not good enough. My feeling on the pitch was that, we had the ball, we controlled the game, we created a few chances, but we didn't control it as much as we wanted to. We didn't react to when we lose the ball as quickly as we normally do when we're playing well. So we need to get back to do properly the simple things, and if the players come back, that would help a lot.
If the players and managers are acknowledging fatigue, injuries, and lack of confidence is the problem. The confidence comes from the winning. The fatigue players will get better when the players return. The conversation will also, will be had about if players are washed, do they have certain qualities to break through weaknesses, I call them. But I mean, why not do this chat now so we can kind of just like focus really on the match, and other greater conversations are maybe not even Manchester City men, because there's plenty more to talk about, lots of football, and City women, they're back doing their thing. And Katie Startup had a controversial take that I'm sure might turn this pot into a dizzy for a moment. So we're gonna get into it. But my question for you, my show bros, the cold open question: do you see the problem with the squad? Is it more the injuries and confidence, or is it that certain players we thought we could rely on are washed, are not quite the quality needed to take City to the promised land? What after being down an entire month, no wins, we get a 3-0 clean sheet, and then a 2-2 draw, which saw our team look amazing and at moments woeful. Where are you mentally at on this squad, Sharpie?
Thank you for going to me first, because I am in a state of calm. Like we've had a no-win November, right? We've never said that in our lives as City supporters. We've had that streak of just, even when you throw in like the draw. Like you throw in like different competitions, getting knocked out. It hasn't been good in the fall, but I feel like winter is when we find our stride. And that graphic or that article I found that said like, hey, these are all the times Man City has come back. So this is not new to us. It's a different way to get there, but we've been down 8 points, 11 points, 10 points, and we still have won the title. So I'm not gonna get rid of hope for a bad moment in the season. And y'all know I like numbers. Like I used to do stats all the time, but like there are 38 matches in the Premier League season. 38 of them. We've played what now? 15? Like
Yes.
we have so much of the season left. We have not hit the halfway point. So until we get Oscar Bob fully healthy, John Stones, Melo Akanji, Nathan Ake for a consistent run, Doku starting again from back-to-back days. Like until we get everybody healthy, I'm always going to hold out hope. So that's where I am. Tarik, how you feeling, bro?
I hear you on the injuries, right? Because that's a big part of what has happened. You're making the assumption that we will get these people back healthy. I don't know that that's a fair assumption because they've not shown that they can stay healthy. John Stones, right now, Nathan Ake, even KDB to a certain extent, they've not shown that they can stay healthy. Obviously, Akanji's in a bad way. Kovacic is in a bad way. If we were all healthy, I'm with you. We can beat anybody. But we do have holes in our lineup because Rodri's not coming back this season. Just not happening. So there's holes in the lineup that even when healthy, we struggled to fill. When where we are right now with the health of our squad and the many people that are missing, we have no answers, and it shows itself every week. We keep running Gundo out there, and I advocated for Gundo to come back because, again, we needed a Rodri backup. He was going to come in and potentially play some minutes behind Rodri. We needed someone to be able to do that, but he can't. He has not shown an ability to consistently do week in, week out, multiple games per week, 90 minutes per game. That's not where he is right now. He needs the ability to play in spells and get breaks and whatever else. And I don't know that I'm with you. If we get healthy, yes, we can put a run together. It may be too far gone to catch Liverpool, but I wouldn't be surprised if we end up in second place. That wouldn't surprise me at all. But I don't know. I don't know how we get there. And I'm usually pretty optimistic. You know,
Yeah.
I said we were going to beat Nottingham Forest. We did. I thought we were going to, beat Crystal Palace, to be honest with you. So I've typically been pretty upbeat, but and I think there's still a chance. I'm never going to say there's not a chance, but we're in a bad way, and it's going to take major roster overhaul to get us out of this rut consistently.
So you speak of major roster overhaul. I'm so happy you did. This is why I love being on a show with somebody for 3 years, because it literally I'm looking at transfer market and listen to all these players. Let's just say some names. We have outfield players, not Scott Carson, the GOAT. We have Ilkay Gundogan, Kevin De Bruyne, Stefan Ortega, Ortega doesn't count. He's not outfield. He's a goalkeeper. So De Bruyne, Walker, Stones, Silva, Kovacic. That is 6 players right now that are 30 or higher. And something that came to me as I was watching footy today and looking at, especially like the Chelsea match, right? Like age matters. And there is a certain point in every player's life. Like the saying is this, right? Father time is undefeated. And if you really want to hit the highest of highs, and we know in soccer or football, there's a peak time between like 26 to 29. And usually once you hit 30, you are on the downside of your career because you've probably been a professional since you were 16, 17 years old, right? Like at some level, you've been playing football for now a decade and a half. You're going to hit the downside of your career. So those players I've listed being outfielders, we obviously have Ederson, Ortega, and Carson in their 30s as goalkeepers, which is different. But the major roster overhaul, you say it's coming. When you look at the contract dates, like who you could get money for, who could leave on a free, like I think there's a beautiful world where like we can use Saudi Arabia next summer to get some money like we did for Cancelo, right? Like there are things that are going to happen that Hugo Vienna is going to have to do as Cheeky exits out. And maybe I don't put a lot of stock into the January window because I don't see City breaking with their practice of the last decade to just say, let's go in and spend big in for the last 5 months of the season. I don't see that. I see them saying like, hey, let's get healthy and let's just run it out and then we can have a full summer. But it's time. And I love these players. These are the only players I've known. Kyle Walker, Kevin De Bruyne, like Bernardo Silva, incredible legends of the club. But if you're not performing to the place where you need to be, and if I can watch Chelsea Football Club press the way I know Man City used to press, just because they have legs, that's a problem. If I can look at two midfielders in Enzo and Romeo, who of course came from City, boss a midfield against Spurs and know that we couldn't do the same thing with our 30-plus-year-old midfielders, that's a problem. So Rodri, 100% right, Tarik. The overhaul's coming. And I've been resigned now to say, hey, let me stay in top four. That's the goal. And Pep always said that. Our first goal is to be top four. We want to make sure we secure Champions League placement. I'm going to ride with that. And if we push Liverpool or push Chelsea or whoever, great. But as long as we don't capitulate to drop to fifth or sixth, because I don't want to see Europa football. I don't want to live that life. So that's, I think, Crunk, to answer your question. As long as we're top four, I'm at peace.
I don't like any of this at all. Wow. Oh, wow. Yikes. Okay. Well, my thoughts are.
Wait, why yikes? Why yikes? Are we too realistic? Are Tarik and I too honest for you? What do you want from us? You want
this.
one for the Gipper?
Because it's not even on. Because everybody. Because I'm with you that it's not looking great, but where I actually do think, the more I'm thinking about this, obviously I'm not expecting anything in January because but you know me, I like going back and forth with my thoughts. But weeks ago,
I think we will do something in January.
Yeah,
I think we have to do something in January.
Yes, but I was also the one who was like, why are we talking about January when we are in December? That like we shouldn't even be talking about it. We need to like look at ourselves right now. And I think that's I even think the players might be being like, can't wait till January. I don't know. The whole Bruno G story, that's picking up some steam. Obviously, I don't know how.
Look, I'm taking a collection. I'm gonna pass the collection plate at the end of this. We're gonna put that money towards the Bruno G offering. we gonna have that money ready on. We just go ahead and give it to him now. Just have Bruno G show up on our door. Have Bruno G just show up at our door on the first. Here's the money now. Take it. Just sit him on the sideline. Don't play him, and just have him show up on the first. We'll throw in an extra couple 20 million extra just to make sure we don't have no problems. We need that dude.
5. They broke boys right now. They are free falling. It's this is I need to. There are two things I need to try to look at our old episodes last season. One is when I basically asked if Arteta is a fraud, and everybody was like, "No, he's fine. They got it." And he seems like stuck in their set piece ways. Like he's at that level where he's gone so like possession where it's incredibly frustrating with Pep was at a moment, and then he had that breakthrough with the like giant back line, and then whoever could invert.
They're also playing Kai Havertz as their 9. They didn't sign Victor Osimhen. They didn't go get him. He was the one there.
Why are you making excuses?
Like Arsenal's problems. No, I'm just saying that's a real life thing. There's terrible decision making. I'm not saying
What?
excuses. They should have made that. They should have spent the money. Not an excuse. They should have spent the money. So
It sounds like you
and
understand
Arteta is
why the trap instead of just
he's
saying
Spanish. He's Spanish. He's David Moyes. He's Spanish David Moyes. Like that is who he is. So and
David.
that's okay. You got to accept this man for who he is. David Moyes. It sounds so much better when you say it with a Spanish
It
thing,
does.
right?
It does. It really does.
He sounds like he knows football, right? David Moyes. Oh, he's a master manager. Great tactician. Love it.
And then the other thing is me calling Newcastle idiots for going way too hard on this 100 mil release clause and not selling, trying to hold on to it. Then after, what was it, after July or June when the release clause dropped, the rumor was the price went up. And I was like, you're dumb. If you think if people didn't pay 100 million for him, they're not going to pay 130 million for him. The gamble was the team will be great. They'll come back, Champions League, that'll intrigue them from staying. But the team did absolutely nothing when it came to but you can't go into the next season with the same team. You see, it doesn't really go great for the club. So like
5 for Newcastle. Perfect mid. A Reggie
exactly. And that is just plummeted Bruno's G's price because his evaluation is 66 million. And 70, we can do the 20 in incentives if that means you'll sit his ass down. Like we'll figure that out. We'll throw an extra 5 in there, and then if he plays well, we ball out and we succeed at the end of the season, we'll give you a few more million. And all right, but I at first didn't want to run with the Bruno G because that price point seemed insane. But now that it could potentially be much more affordable and sensible, and I know it's still 60, 70 million, but for a player like Bruno G that could legitimately fill a need, that's worth that trigger. But again, this is us being like, January, I'm going against my own words, but still, it's just like, I can't get Jamal Musiala. Freaking Musa Okwango was joking around and talked about William Saliba as the perfect Pep player. So now I have that in my brain. It's just like all I got right now is fantasies until my team on the men's side starts consistently winning, because the women, obviously, they're doing their thing. All right, cool. Well, let's get this episode started. 18 minutes in, baby. Let's go. Oh, man. Hey, and welcome to episode 19 of Shades of Blue.
World's famous.
119. We done a lot more than you said.
I said 19. Yes, 119. Yes, we have done way more than 19. We are the most comprehensive show about Manchester City, covering both the men's and women's game, spanning both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. We make an art over here, capitalize the A. I am CrunkChocolate. I'm here with, you've heard, the show bros, Sharpie Charlie, Tarik. How's the weekend been for you? Tarik, let's start with you.
Weekend has been cool. A lot of college football watching. I am glad to say that Alabama did not make the college football playoffs because I'm an Alabama hater, and I own that. I accept that. I'm perfectly fine with that. So the fact that they're not in makes Miami not being in just a little bit easier to take. I was thinking about this the other day. I said I was going to do a video that explains college football for our English listeners. In college football is the UEFA Champions League, at least the old style. I haven't looked at the new style yet, but you got the different conferences, you got the different leagues, you got different number of teams getting in. There's a little comparison there. So I've just been watching a lot of college football. Of course, high school basketball is going on. just enjoying it, man. Taking it one day at a time. Had a great holiday and looking forward to the holidays to come. So enjoy spending time with family. So yeah, man, everything's good. How about you, Charlie?
That
Thanks for the lead in, Tarik. And I will say this, right? And I know people have their feelings, but I'm just gonna say it. I love that Men in Blazers put out a graphic that said, "Hey, what would the Premier League look like if it had the same format as the college football playoff here in America?"
Oh, did they do
And of
that
course,
seriously?
we're still
There you go.
yeah, they did it, and we're still in the top four. So the top seeds would be Liverpool, Chelsea at 2, Arsenal at 3, Manchester City at 4, and then it gets really interesting because you have like a 12 seed in Newcastle playing a 5 seed at Forest. Wow, going to the City Ground. You have Brentford and Bournemouth. Who would have thought the Killer Bees would be out here in the top 12? You have Fulham taking a trip to Brighton at the Amex. And then lastly, the first round matchup would be Villa going to Spurs. And like the thought of this, if we had a playoff system in the Premier League, wow. Because let's be real, the bottom 8 don't really fucking matter. But the top 12, wow, that's a lot of names, a lot of storylines. And know who's not there?
I was
Manchester
waiting.
United
I was
Football
getting
Club.
ready to say it. First
Not-
team out.
Not present.
Bama
First team
and
out.
United. Let's go.
First team out. And so I'm ignoring the Bama stuff because I'm trying to stay positive in this state of the world we're in and with black men. But I'm gonna stay positive and stay connected. So yeah, I've also been watching college football. The games yesterday were great. That that Georgia Texas game was crazy. I fell asleep on Oregon Penn State, but waking up to see the highlights was wild. Like when you're an American and you can enjoy Premier League and college football, your December is beautiful. Like
The
it
Clemson
is nothing
SMU
like it.
game was a good one too.
Clemson SMU, right? Last second kick, 56-yard bomb from a college kicker. Like insane scene. So it's just I said this yesterday when we were talking to Eric Wall. Can't wait for the episode to come out. But like seeking joy is all I want to do in life. And like I find joy every weekend when it comes to college football. Like it's been a beautiful season. These are the most teams that have had a chance at the title in the history of the sport. Like imagine if you said like, oh, Champions League was only 4 teams. That'd be crazy. Why there's so many? Why would there only be 4? Now we have like, oh, we have 12 possibilities. So you have people in Arizona State who are like, no, we can do this. Boise's like, we got the Heisman Trophy winner, maybe. We can make a run. You know, you got all these different places who have a chance. And that's all you want in sports is there's a chance. You might lose, but you got a chance. And that's all you could ask for. So it's a fun time, man. Like I genuinely love these months. I was talking to the Crunk beforehand, and like the colder it gets, the more I stay inside. And it's great for me. I got 2 TVs and a laptop. I can watch every sport. So we are good over here. Crunk, how have you been? Let's talk about you, sir, as the host, producer, everything for this podcast. How have you been, man?
You know, some ups and downs. It's been good overall. You know, the pod, it's been great. All the other pods are killing it, and been really enjoying listening to them grow, and because you know it's always very awkward learning each other's timings and things like that. So just a small thing, seeing and hearing less space in between because they're able to time each other right and things like that. That's been great. But I'm really bummed because I'm pretty sure not doing the soccer watch parties with the Bent River anymore. They, you know, just weren't patient. It's been a month and they're already like not interested. And I'm going to be honest, I got enough going on. I'm not trying to deal with another thing that technically doesn't make me like the money and stuff like that. I'm just trying to build a community. I technically have connected with all of the people that have shown up. I either follow them on Instagram or I have their phone numbers. I've gotten technically what I've wanted out of it is the community part, build with them. It's unfortunate couldn't get that going. But it's not going to stop because now we're just talking about figuring out our own hangout. Does that mean that one of us just hosts everybody once a week and we just like take turns going to each other's places and watching games? Like either way, it's all happening. It's all figuring out. So that's been really nice. And then next week, I'll be in Chicago. So any City fans or just football fans, if you're in Chicago, if you're going to the Man City, they're bringing the trophy. They're hosting a watch along for the match that weekend. I'm going. I'm bringing the homie Jake from 50 Plus Stoner. So he'll be an honorary citizen for that day. Yeah, gonna make some content, see some people. Hopefully, if I get there early enough, I will take a photo with the trophy. But I just saw it a few months ago. I got my photo a few months ago. It's just like it's not that big of a deal.
I also want to add in that there's one person missing from this episode. He happens to be at a Sunday night football game in Kansas City. Tom Baum let us know earlier in the week, hey, got this ticket, Chargers Chiefs Sunday night football. Sorry, boys, won't be there. And God bless you, Tom, because I'm watching the game. Like, I would love to be at a Sunday night game. So I hope that he enjoys his experience. I don't hope the Chiefs win. I would never want the Chiefs to win as a Broncos fan. I didn't want to lie on camera. I was like, do I lie? No, I don't want him to win. I want him to have a safe experience. I want that black man to be safe in his city. That's all I care for. There we go.
Oh, I love it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Chicago. Gonna go get some food. A couple times I've been in Chicago, I've kind of just gone to the event and left. Luckily, this ends early enough so I can go and get some lunch. I got to weigh my options. I got to actually see where the event is and what's close to it. I'm really been craving Jay's. It's my favorite place to get Italian beefs at. Like, those are great. I just want a juicy Italian beef with some spicy peppers. Oh, let's go. Oh, sounds so great. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's been chill. Slowly trying to figure this merch situation out. It's figured out. It's me being particular on what gets approved and stuff like that. Also, let's talk about this so if you say you were a player on a soccer team, what would your number be?
Oh, I didn't know where you were going. I was going to say I'm not a player. I just crush a lot, but I didn't know where you were headed with that. I was like, whoa, hey. But then you turned it around and you made it about soccer. So you talked about jersey numbers. So it's a little different. Okay, I feel better.
Okay, what's your number, Crusher?
I would probably wear the same number that I've always worn in basketball, which would be either number 12 or number 7. I was a big time Kenny Anderson fan growing up as a kid, man. Georgia Tech Lethal Weapon 3, left-handed point guard. Dude was insane. One of my goals, if you will, is to reach out to him and have him come on a show like this and let's chop it up and talk about basketball. But I've worn number 12 pretty much everywhere since then. So I would rock 12 or 7, either one.
Okay.
So for those that don't know, I am the 4th. So 4 would definitely be there. So it's a missing company. But honestly, I would love to be like a 6. I think the 6 is like such a pivotal position. I think it's a beautiful number. Shouts to Nathan Ake. Yeah, I would want to be a 6.
See, and I know it's Tom Bomb 816, but I don't know if any of those numbers are like a preferred
as
number.
the master of the midfield. I feel like Tom as an 8 would be perfect. 8 or 10. He's definitely 8 or 10.
I like that. And then,
Dude, Crunk, are you the 9? Are you the 9? Are you the 11? What are we doing? Are you the 1 because you're the keeper? You just keep everything together? Like, what are we doing?
I know I was thinking, I was like 1 because I was thinking keeper. I even though I do love the idea of me being a striker, I do love scoring goals. Even when I played rugby, I was a second row or a number 8 but I still managed to score at least or tried to score. I did a lot of kicking. So maybe, yeah, I would like a striker, but also I feel like everybody likes to be a striker. So I'm gonna go with one. I'm gonna go with one.
Now, if you were asking me, so I didn't understand the question because I thought we were just talking about jersey numbers. If you're talking about position,
I
I'm
mean,
a
you
10.
can go
I'm a point guard. I'm a 10, man. I'm a creator.
okay.
That is that for sure.
Okay.
I'm getting them assists.
So
Tarik
Thomas,
at the 10. I'm at the 6.
Yeah.
We give Tom the 8. Our spine is fire, and then we got Crunk at the 1 as the keeper, just holding shit down, locking everybody up, make sure everybody's good. Little Joe Hart energy. I'm here for it.
oh, I love it. Okay. Well, that is good. That's good information to know. Man, in today's episode, we got some things. Well, before we get to all of that, man, what I need you to do, thumbs up, like this video. If you're listening on a patio podcast, the audio version of our episode, please.
Hey, patio is crazy. I'm sorry. He said patio. My bad. I'm done.
No, you're good. Oh man. 5 stars or what's the point? Rate, review, comment, say some nice things. We appreciate you. In today's episode, we got Baby Blue Baddies. They handled business against Leicester City. Ruby Mace. I felt so bad watching you chase shadows all day. Oh my gosh, that was sad. Then we'll look forward to their match against St. Polten. Just realized I typed it in as Polteon. And they have 2 matches this week. UWCL against St. Polten, and then WSL at Everton. We got our shock, awe, and applause when we show some love, hate, our indifference towards another club that is not Manchester City. And then we're going to talk about City men. We got Nottingham Forest, we got Crystal Palace, we got highs, we got lows. I got clips for the first time in a few weeks. I felt like the team won. My voice was listening to what he was saying, but I didn't really care that much to talk about it because really he's still kind of just. I actually think he's being so honest. It's refreshing, and I wish more people kind of actually paid attention to his words instead of the trendy clips from the embargo interviews. Because really, he's just he does sense how stressed everybody is, and obviously he's stressed too, but he's just been kind of talking people off of the ledge, which I appreciate, but first let's get into these baby blue baddies. Let's go, Man City women. Okay, back after international break. The time off was wonderful. Yui basically took all of her national mates to Disneyland, Disney World, took them somewhere to a Disney something, and they all appeared to have their best time of their lives. It definitely seems like Yui is just camp counselor for her nation mates, and that brings me a lot of joy. Laura Bunkeldy Brown, she got her first call up to the Three Lions, and I believe she played 70 minutes. That was fantastic. She looked great while she was at it, so everybody's super happy for her on that end. Gareth, they actually talked about Blinky for a good 3 minutes of the 10-12 minute interview. It was really good. And before we get to, because he talked about the injuries, he talked a little bit about Hemp specifically. I wanted to play this clip about from Katie Startup She's a keeper who joined the club over the summer. It was kind of like a Q&A, get to know her. And she was asked, what is one food that people should try?
I am a big pineapple on pizza girl, and I think you've got to try it before you dismiss it. I think it just works.
Pineapple on pizza? I mean, they say keepers, they're kind of like crazy people. And she also said like olives on pizza is great too. So like, I don't know. I don't know about her food taste. And Sharpie, I see you giving a thumbs up. You're a pineapple on pizza person. That's
Yeah, man. A little light, a little acid with the cheese, with the monster, like with the sauce. Like it works for me personally.
Do you do like ham, pineapple? Do you do jalapeno? Do you do any
True
spicy?
Hawaiian style.
Yes.
Hawaiian style. Like I don't do spicy with it. I do
You don't do
just
the spice?
ham Hawaiian. I mean, yeah, ham and jalapeno. I mean, ham and pineapple.
Yeah.
It makes it protein, a little sizz, a little acid. It works. I don't know what people want. Like it makes me happy. Tarik,
I get pineapple on mine.
Pineapple
I get pineapple on mine too, but I only do it when I'm eating by myself because the wife and the kids are like, yeah, that doesn't even sound good. But if I go if I go to Blaze Pizza and I get something for myself, just like whatever, I'm always gonna have. I'm like, I want a lot of pineapple on there, and then I'm like, nah, whatever you thought was a lot, put double that and put that on there.
Wow. I actually want a pineapple.
That LeBron James gif where he's like listening to the album. He's like, more. I need more. That's Tarik. More pineapple.
Because I'm I don't just do ham. I do pretty much everything I'm going to normally get on there. But like I don't do like anything spicy either. I'll put like crushed red pepper on it or whatever at the end. But like on it, I'm not getting any peppers or anything on it. It's going to be pineapple. It's going to be pepperoni, ham, bacon, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm actually completely here for pineapple on pizza, but I do need that spicy. I need that because Sharpie he hit it correct with the flavor profiles, the sweet, salty, acid, and I just need that spice. I need that spice. Just get that complete mouthfeel, and it's just wonderful.
Wait, Crunk, did you watch that show on Netflix where it was like a black cooks? They were talking about like sweet, salty.
Yes. Yep.
Maybe it was like that. I thought of you when you said that. That is Crunk's alley. He is the chef of this pod. He literally cooks all this shit up, people. That is perfect for you. Yes.
And I, after the match on Crystal Palace, I did make lasagna. And I made like the red sauce from scratch. And I was just like, whenever I'm too bummed about my team, you can find me in the kitchen slow cooking something. It's just like, I need to make a sauce.
Good thing you're not a Southampton fan. You might be.
I would just need to
all day, every day. Yeah.
I'd be a professional chef. Maybe that's where I messed up. Oh, that's great. Oh, man. Okay, well, let's get to this quote Gaz talking about Hemp. Basically, the person was like, hey, yo, y'all been real weird about this injury. What's going on?
Well, I think the surgery was really successful. That's the positive news.
They asked, I wish I could remember specifically they were like, how long will she be out? And then he goes, first, it was a successful surgery. We're like, yes, that's not answering the fucking question.
I think that it was just an issue that she had that needed taking care of, similar in a way to kind of Viv's. So as for estimated return to play is really difficult because obviously each player is different in the way they recover, but it will be the new year. There's no doubt. There's no way we're going to see her in this next run of 4 games. And hopefully the closer that is to the new year, the better for us. But of course, with someone like Lauren, those types of players, they have usually quick recovery powers, and particularly like she's really.
Like you can't hear Gas?
Not at all.
Like you haven't heard any of it?
No, I was waiting. I was like, no, nothing's come through.
Oh, interesting. Have you heard the other things that I was playing?
I
Like
heard no audio. So whatever, like your little lead-ins, like nothing came after that. It was just like, for me, it was silence.
So you didn't hear the pep talk before?
Heard nothing. Sadly,
Oh,
nothing. Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is
Oh
fun.
my God.
Hmm. Technical difficulties. So you didn't hear the Katie startup thing about the pineapple on pizza? So
She was the only one that came through. Katie was good. Everything else, like anything related to gas, like how you set it up, nothing else came through.
Interesting.
Before I walked away, I heard you talking about the surgery. So I heard Garrett Taylor answering that
Oh,
question.
you heard it. Okay, maybe it was just me.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then I walked
Sorry.
away, so I don't know
Maybe
what
just me.
else.
No, I heard nothing. I'm just waiting on what the hell he say.
Maybe it'll start from when I stopped.
Aligned with what she needs to do in terms of getting strong to get ready, and of course having her back would be amazing, because when you talk about the likes of Lauren, likes of Viv, they're really key players to miss. No, it was it was a meniscus issue. So I think I think everyone obviously straight away when you hear knee surgery, everyone thinks of the worst, which is ACL. So no, it was just, like I say, Lauren did it in the game against Crystal Palace, played in the Spurs game, which probably tells you that it wasn't anything that was too significant, but obviously significant enough for her to miss this run of games.
So yeah, it's meniscus, I guess. And
why didn't they say that before, Crunk? Why didn't they just say it at the beginning? Lauren Hemp is out with a meniscus injury. She'll have surgery. Like, you could have
and he was
all
so
this away a week or two ago.
He was so vague about it. And even in the if you heard that it was it was 2 clips he talked about it in the first place, was just like, she had a successful surgery and she'll be back. When will she be back? The beginning of next year sometime. What is it? Meniscus. I understand why people would be all worried. Okay, then say something. What are you doing? What are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? Like, for him to be like, people would assume that it's the ACL. Like, well, you're being silent. You're not showing anything. Lauren Hemp is just posting rehab with her knee brace on the entire time. It doesn't look good. I freaked out on Blue Sky. I was like, she's out the whole season, guys. It's all over. Oh, my gosh, man. Communicate, please.
It's really like a relationship, right? It's like, if you don't have communication, then we have to start assuming things.
Yes.
Tell me how you feel. Tell me where you are. I need to know. Tarik's been married for over a decade. Like, this man knows. Like, I gotta talk to my wife. We gotta communicate what's going on, baby. Like, I can't just be out here guessing. And I hate that I gotta guess when it comes to Manchester City women. Like, I don't like guessing. Give me the facts.
I've been married 20 plus years. My wife will probably tell you she's probably still guesses because Tarik don't talk, but whatever.
2 plus decades. There we go.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, man. Okay, well, this match against Leicester City, like I said, we are able to see Ruby Mace, who I understand she had to leave and go do her own thing because she ever wants to. I mean, she got called up to the Lioness. She was getting some attention from the Lioness while she was at City, but the moment she went to Leicester City, she was immediately out there getting playing time for City women. Keating, actually, and he didn't say anything about Yamashita, but she's not in the lineup or anything like that. I mean, she was on the bench. But I am intrigued because Keating has looked good. Our attack looks better. But hey, Leia Alexandri's back. So our back line is Wahhabi, Greenwood, Alexandri, Kasparized. Midfield of Hasegawa, Roard, and Park. Up top, Fujino, Shaw, Fowler. Chloe Kelly was out because she got her shit rocked playing U.S. women's. English fans who are listening right now. I apologize because I know that whole situation is y'all differ on if it was too rough or dirty or not. What I will say is Gareth, he's like, nope, I don't see anything wrong with that whole situation. It was what it was. It just happens. And it does be like that sometimes. So we're missing her, but in this City 1-4-0, Bunny Shaw with a brace of headers in the 2nd minute, in the 29th minute. Park got on the scoreboard in the 49th minute, and even Fowler. They were all kind of bangers of goals too, because Fowler's was like a left leg, like high volley where she had like chopped the ball down. That was cool. Park balled out. Yeah, man, this team just played so well. Like, if you look at FOTMob, our worst rated player was Alexandri with a 7.2, and this was our first match back after a very long time off due to injury. Alana Kennedy and Blinky came on in the 59th minute. Freaking Yui got rest. Bunny Shaw got rest. The young players, Cody Thomas, Evo Carroll, and Lily Murphy. Cody Thomas and Lily Murphy are the 2 players who just signed senior deals, if I have it correct. And so congratulations to the first team ladies. Y'all are officially baby Blue Baddies full time. The game is Leicester City. There really was not much of a threat or a worry that the biggest threat to this match was YouTube streaming. Like, honestly, it was bad and stuttering and stammering. Shout out to, they had this match on City Plus. I don't know if they expected or anticipated this bullshit that was going to happen, because it was bad. There were moments where the screen just went out, and I acknowledge the weather was bad, but the City Plus feed looked amazing. There was no problems, no starting. It looked great. Apparently, whatever City Plus is doing, they could help out whatever the WSL is and YouTube is trying to get going on.
Yeah, I love this match because City took care of business. When you play the team that's second from the bottom, you're supposed to win 4-0 or 3-0, right? You take care of business, add those goals when it comes to goal differential. When I first saw the lineup, I was like on the bench. I was like, oh, there are 5 players on FOTMob that don't have a picture. And it just showed me how young we are, which is, again, not the worst thing, because like they're growing. They're going to be there for the years to come. Of course, you would love for everybody to be healthy. More Hemp should be in the squad, right? But happy with the result. A bunny brace is always great. Still leading the WSL in goals scored. Trying to go for a back-to-back golden boot. So excited for it. And yeah, we're on to, who do we play next? Is that back to Champions League on Thursday.
Yep. And what I love about this is it's not great that we have to play these young players. Like, I mean, actually, it is great, but it's the situation why we have to play them is due to injuries and people missing out. But if we're able to play our young players in games like this with a high lead, the pressure is off of them, and it's it's just exciting to see them score 4 goals, handle business. When hold on, in the WSL today. Like, yeah, Chelsea barely beat United. Hold on. Nope. Sorry. Chelsea beat down Brighton. And Manchester United, poor Liverpool. I don't know what's going on with Liverpool. And I don't know if people have seen what Manchester United's Jim Ratcliffe, he had some words about the Manchester United women's team and basically said that we don't care about them. That is the short quote, even shorter. It was very disappointing to see. I do know that the 12 podcast are Tom Baum, Deep D, Mark, and Treb Tracy. They will definitely be talking about that in detail. So do check out that episode that comes out this week. Like Sharpie said, they play St. Polten this week. And then on the weekend, they travel to Everton, 6:30 in the morning. Oh my gosh. So there's that match. And then there's the Manchester Derby for the men. So it's a full day, full morning of City football for them. Gaz did say Chloe Kelly should be healthy for St. Polten in the Derby. And Chloe Kelly loves a Derby. I would like to see her start. I think that might be a little too intense for Fugino, who's been getting a lot of playing time, period. Yeah. I think we should handle business against St. Polten. I think the last match that they played against St. Polten, that was Gareth rested a lot of players on that last match. If I am correct, let me go back to it and look.
No, Crunk, I think you definitely are. And I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if there's a very like similar I think this one we go all out because we have Everton coming up on that weekend, like you said. So it's kind of like go all out for that. But no, I lied. Let me take it all back. It's really just getting ready for Barca. Like you got 2 matches to get through. Everton is 10th place in WSL. Polton is who they are in Champions League. Like you just want to get through those matches. I want Bunny to get rest. I want you to get rest. If I would take a draw against St. Paulson at the very worst, right? To make sure that we're set up to play Barca at full strength. I think you have to this is where prioritization comes into play as a manager and understanding who can play and who can't. If Bunny goes down, I'll be pissed, right? So get her 60, 70 minutes. I love that she came out at 74, her and UE. Let's lower that down to 65. And let's get ready to go Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday. Like it's gonna be a lot of matches. With no Lauren Hemp. God bless us. Okay. So yeah, can't wait. It'll be great.
Yeah, he started Cody Thomas as a right back and Blinky, but Cody Thomas was taken off pretty. Actually, her and Blinky both played 63 minutes, but Park was taken off early in the second half. Yeah, I would like to see something similar. Give some of these young players their Champions League debuts. We can handle business against Everton and take the match against Barca seriously, because that match is the last of the year for them. They're not back until the second week of January. All right. Let's keep it moving to shock all in applause. Haha, I didn't say that. Who's gonna start this off? Who has some things or not things to say about another club?
I mean, I can go first. I mean, it's gonna go really quick. At the beginning of the season, we talked about top 4 predictions. I said us, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Chelsea. I think I was the only one that might have said that. And these dudes are balling out. So kudos to Chelsea, I guess. All those City players they got over there working wonders for them. So big ups to them.
Yeah, man. It's second in the league right now. That's crazy.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, we sit 8 points behind Liverpool, which is not great, but also manageable, like completely manageable. I'm not too worried about that.
I'm not worried about it because we've been as bad as we could ever be, and we're still in and around the top places. So I have no doubt that we'll get it together. We'll be better. We'll advance up the rankings, but I don't know that anyone thought Chelsea. Like I had them fourth because I thought I didn't think they could continue to be as bad as they had been with the players that they had. To my surprise, maybe even to their own surprise, they are in second place. We'll see if they can stay there.
Tottenham, Newcastle, Manchester United in 11th, 12th, and 13th. I know they didn't expect to see themselves there. Man, West Ham have been shambolic, and Antonio got into a car accident, so he's going to be out for indiscriminate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, very.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's so. I don't know. This is great. I love this. Liverpool, their match against Everton was postponed. That now makes their insane January and February even more. They have a match in hand. We know what it's like to watch another team have that pressure. Arne Slot, he kind of bit into the whole 115 banter with Salah. I know he said it was a joke. Pep played it down, but they have established there's now a little like there's some intensity, there's some anger towards Liverpool now. It's not all like love for them that I had at the beginning of the season. I appreciate that up from them.
Why did you have love for them to begin with?
That's not love. It's not love, but it wasn't like hate like it was with Klopp, because Slot just came in and he was like, I'm just here to do my thing, play my football. And even the way that they were playing, it wasn't really too aggressive or intense. And you don't have the people snarling like they did under the Klopp era. So I was just like, all right, cool. They're just a good team playing good football. But now they're starting to show the edge. And I think the claws are starting to come out. And it will be interesting to see if Klopp is able to handle that. Or there we go. Slot. If Slot's able to handle that, because that doesn't seem to be his energy. I'm very interested in how they will handle the second half of the season.
To that point, I just want to shout out Leicester City for drawing against Brighton. I want to shout out Fulham for drawing against Arsenal. Those are two of the 5 or 6 teams, right, that are vying for the top 4. So to have them both drop points when we drop points is great. So thank you, Leicester. Thank you, Fulham, for being who you are. You're kind people. You're good people. We love everything that happens with Fulham. I love those little lions in Leicester. Hope you all stay up. But yeah, that made me happy. And then there was a lot of goals in Spain. I don't know if y'all were able to think about Julian Alvarez a lot. I see Atletico Madrid. It was a 4-3 shootout. Atletico versus Sevilla. It took a winner in the 94th minute, so in stoppage time, for Antoine Griezmann to get 3 points of Atletico Madrid. Just thought it was fun because normally Sevilla doesn't play these types of matches, or Atletico Madrid doesn't. So that's about it.
Yeah. I am interested in kind of the mess part. Man United firing Dan Ashcroft, whatever his name was, the sneaky.
You almost said Dan Ass, and that's hilarious, by the way. Dan Ass, I like that.
The
it's Ashworth, but Ass works.
Yeah, he is obviously Assworth. Like they got him out of there. They're leaking information as to why he was fired because they're trying to make sense of it. But he was emailing with United while at Newcastle, which isn't great, and I'm just happy that it's all falling apart for them. It's
kind of like if you're a person who dates somebody and like they were with somebody but they were cheating on them and then talk to you. It's like you expect them to change who they are, or like you expect better from them. They've shown you who they are. Now again, this has nothing to do with his football acumen. I just like that parallels like real life things, and people shouldn't do that. If you fuck with somebody that's cheating on their partner, they're probably gonna cheat on you too. I'm just saying, it's real life.
Facts. What makes your ass special, huh? All right. Let's keep it moving to the win against Nottingham. Whoa! Oh my gosh. But before we get into the match and talk joy, I'm messing up with this camera. Technical problems. This is what happens when my good mouse is down. Start struggle busing. All right. Pep knows people don't care about the past, which is why he put up 6. 6. Which we can have a conversation because he had some words about Mourinho. He was asked about this a while ago when him and Mourinho once upon a time put up 3 before he was let go, and Pep kind of laughed at him about it. And Pep's answer to that really was, well, he won 3 and I won 6, so like 6 is better than 3. I don't really know what to tell you. But Pep, I have 2 clips. This first one is just kind of him always just being aware of what people are thinking and saying.
In a sport, you can listen when you are in 20 years, we'll remember that. But the people want facts today. People don't think or don't want to wait what you have done yesterday or even last season or 2 seasons or 3 seasons. It's now what you have to do. And now we are not delivering that.
And now they're not delivering that. And right after he was asked if he saw this current slump that they're in coming.
It was not tough. I expect it was tougher, but it was completely opposite. It's now when the central defenders fall down and start to no results, we lack our consistency, and after the results was not good. But at the beginning of the season was really good. We won the Community Shield, we won in Stamford Bridge. We were solid in most of the games, except I would say Fulham. And after when we start to lose the games in Bournemouth, and after for the problems that we had and everything getting worse and getting worse. And now we have to find a solution. I have to find a solution to be stability to the team through our game to win games.
It is what it is. It's funny because now he's at the moment. He was like, actually, I thought the slump was going to hit us at the beginning of the season. But at the beginning of the season, he was just like, no, I still see so much fire from everybody. Everyone seems so hungry. It's just like, bro, you just be saying stuff. But also, that's what he has to do. He has to keep everything calm, even when shit may be on fire. Starting lineup is Ortega still. No, this is Ortega. Backline of Vardiol, Ake, Diaz, and Akanji. Midfield of Gundo, Grealish, KDB getting a start. So nice to see. Doku on the wings, which was great to see. Bernardo Silva and Holland. How were we feeling? What were our thoughts for this midweek league match? That was kind of threw me off a little bit. But what were your thoughts on this lineup when you saw it?
Well, the big talking point was Grealish through the middle, right?
Yeah.
and really didn't know if he was gonna come through the middle. I didn't, because you could have put Doku on what would that be, on the right,
Mm-hmm.
Grealish on the left, and then Silva and Bernardo and KDB through the middle. But so when you see it and you see Grealish coming through the middle, it's like, oh, something we've talked about forever, pretty much since he's been at the club,
Mm-hmm.
but not something that we've actually seen. And it actually, in other conversations, it felt like Pep was kind of even anti the discussion, anti this as a possibility. So I thought that was great to see. Of course, Doku, Akanji, Ake just being able to get back on the pitch. So yeah.
I think this club goes as Jeremy Doku starts. The more matches he starts, the more threat we have offensively, the more space that's open. So when I saw him out there, I said, yes, we're good. Throw in Grealish in a true midfield role. And I was like, yes, this is what we've been talking about for the better part of like a year. So I was very happy. Muted, Crunk.
Ha ha ha! Thank you. The team, they looked great immediately. 8-minute goal from Bernardo. You know, this whole week really has kind of been a fever dream, because even in the win, it was a very comfortable win. I really wasn't too stressed at many moments from Nottingham. Yeah, they ran at us, but the team looked really good, and that felt weird. I felt weird feeling this comfortable. I was kind of waiting for the shoe to drop. I guess while we were watching, because KDB got a goal. KDB looked great. He was making crazy deadly passes. What I feel like we had a few pretty decent chances. Yeah, our XG was 1.96 in the first half. We had 4 shots on target, 4 big chances. 2 of those were missed. Yeah, it was the team that I had seen and expected in against Nottingham Forest, who's the top 7 club this season. Thoughts? I'm just leaving it open. I'm not doing the play-by-play thing.
I mean, for the match overall, I think we dominated. Jack was a revelation in midfield. It's every skill he has on the wing, but in the most important place, which is holding the ball and keeping it in midfield. When you compare that to a man who's 5 years older and Gundo, who's been run over multiple times and who isn't at his peak anymore, oh, this is what it looks like to have a holding midfielder again, or somebody that can hold the possession, and what that does with the team, right? So even though he didn't have a goal or assist, he was very integral in our success. So it was a great match. I didn't expect 3-0. I think when we talked last week, I thought a draw. I gave the thumbs down. Tarik was the one that was really confident, but I was happy to be wrong. City winning when I'm wrong, great. Keep winning, boys. Keep it up. So I was happy, man. How about you,
I was
Tarik?
confident. No, I was confident that we would win, but I thought it was going to be a 1-0 or a 2-1. I thought it was going to be close. Because quite honestly, we haven't shown an ability to score goals like that so far this season. So to kind of explode for 3 was great to see. But again, to your point, it happens because we have our most threatening offensive attacking players on the pitch. Doku from out wide, KDB through the middle, someone who's not able to just make a pass, but he's willing to. He's a willing passer. I just wish so many other players would just play the balls that, and again, they can't play what he plays. They can't see what he sees, and I get it, but he makes it look so effortless. It's like, why don't we see this every match from all of our players? And then you realize because he's one of one, he's special. And so getting him back on the pitch healthy, or at least mostly healthy, is night and day. And so if we can just keep him healthy, get everybody else back, I'm telling you, we can go on a run. Whether we can get to, win the league or not, I don't know. But we got some wins in us. We just got to get people on the pitch. So it was good to see.
Yeah, the passes from KDB, and it in winning matches, yes, you have to score more goals than the other team, but there's like moral victories that you need to have in matches. And just the passes that KDB makes, and it's not always the deadly ones. It's the ones where he seems to just knock it wide and a defender thinks they can get there in time, but it just somehow beats them. Sometimes the ball zips past, sometimes it just like slowly grazes past them. It's things like that where, it throws you off. It defeats you because there's a player on the pitch now that no matter you being in the right position, expecting the pass, there's nothing you can do. You just have to watch this ball get placed towards another player, and then that also boosts the players. And I like him with the little hairband. It's a nice little look. It doesn't make him look like a younger player though, because he doesn't wear it like Grealish does. Grealish wears it. It's all nice and neat. He has it. It's kind of like all over the place. He's like constantly fidgeting with it. You can definitely tell that he is wearing it for purpose, not for
functional.
Yes,
it's functional.
He does not look like he's having a good time while he is wearing it. He definitely
looks like a true millennial, and I love it. I respect
you know what though? I guess the biggest thing so when KDB is out, especially, we hear a lot of talk about how, Haaland only has 3 touches so far this half and 12 touches for the game. Whether he scores or not, it's all this big deal about how many touches he gets or whatever. When KDB plays, you get Haaland playing 1-2s all across the pitch. We can't even get the man the ball most games, and then he's out here playing 1-2s with KDB and playing him in and getting the ball back and running. It's like in a totally different game, man.
I think that's because of KDB's gravity, right? Like there is more space for Haaland because KDB is on the pitch. They need each other to really be at their best at this point in where they are in their careers. And I think like as much as I want Haaland to do more, it's far easier to do more when you have KDB on the pitch. I love Phil Foden to the death, but that man's been Reggie this year. So like he isn't attracting the same type of attention that KDB gets. So those holes aren't there, those pockets aren't there. And I think like when I saw that match, I was like, oh yeah, like this is where our 17 is who he is. Mm-hmm. He literally makes the game easier for everybody else on the pitch. It's a very like I am willing to go out on a limb and say like Kevin De Bruyne is the greatest midfielder in Premier League history. It's not close. Like people like to like put other people there. No, there's him, and then there's like 3 steps below, and then you can give me 2, 3, 4, 5. Like he is exceptional at what he does. And when you take the best striker in the world and make him at his best, and you've done it for a decade, like Kevin De Bruyne is 101. And him healthy changes the whole outlook for me when it comes to the other trophies, as far as Champions League and FA, because we don't have a deficit to kind of make up, right? We're just playing. We're definitely going to leave a silverware this year if he stays healthy. He is the linchpin of this team still to this day.
I like that. Anything, and Haaland had 32 touches in the game against Crystal Palace, or in the game against Nottingham Forest. Oh, he was, and if you compare that to Crystal Palace, which is there any last thoughts before we move on to Crystal Palace? because
No, I'm good.
cool.
3 points. We needed it. That's for sure.
Very much needed. And Pep was asked about Grealish, who I loved. We all talked glowingly about him being in midfield and how it accentuates his skills, and Pep was asked about him and that position and if it was good for his confidence.
It was my mistake to play in the winger. I think Aston Villa start from, I would say, from the left position, the winger position, of going more inside. Here we're more fixed position, more in the places, but he can adapt in perfectly in both positions. It just was a game, just one. So we have to see in the future for many, many things. The confidence comes from himself. After many years, I'm not here to give confidence. Confidence has to be there.
Pep acknowledges Grealish looked good in midfield, but calms every down with it's one game. The reason why he didn't start
That also took forever to make the change. He took too long, bro. Like, you were there. Now, I will say health is a part of this, right? Grealish had some injuries, but like we know his skill set. But you're never gonna take the mea culpa publicly and be like, I fucked up. He did kind of say like I should have did it earlier, but bro, he has a midfielder skill set. He is not a winger. He's not Leroy Sané. He is not a Sterling. He's not a Doku. He's not a Savinho. Like he's not a Mahrez. We know what wingers look like. That man has always been a midfielder. You've been playing him out of position. I love you, Pep. You're the GOAT. But thank you for finally getting it right. Appreciate you.
Yeah, it's injured. Our Niggles coming back from an injury. He's not able to do 90 straight minutes. That's why Doku didn't play, because he played 90 minutes fresh from returning from an injury. Ortega getting another start. Vardiol, Diaz, Walker, and Lewis, the back line. Midfield of Gundo, Silva, KDB. Nunes, Savinho, and Holland are the attack. Halfway through our kickoff show that we were doing, the FOTMob adjusted the lineup, and that kind of, we knew it was going to be chaos. We weren't quite sure who was going to be where, what people were going to do. I wasn't thrilled about this lineup when I first saw it. It didn't bring me joy, but it is what it is.
What were the concerns that you had with the lineup? What did you see that made you nervous or upset or whatever?
Honest, the whole Ederson thing again. I completely understand the near post, and he definitely crumbled in the pressure, but I feel like that was more on the defense that kind of put him in such a stress situation that he felt like he needed to save the situation. And as a keeper, you should never have to feel that way, but they obviously had him feeling that way. And then naturally just Gundo, Lewis, midfield. I was hoping Nunes was going to be the other midfielder, and it was going to be Savinho and Bernardo on the wings. But we quickly saw that that's not really what it was. And I'm not going to lie, like, Walker stresses me out, and it's not necessarily his speed, if he has it or whatever. What I see is I think he still has a speed, but he's now relying on that so much. He's just always being caught off balance, and just he's anticipating. I don't know what's going on, but he doesn't bring a calmness to the defense at times that I don't like. And I know it was forced because Ake and Akanji, I think if they were healthy, probably wouldn't have started. But it was just so much. After seeing the greatness that was when we have the players in the positions, we are now forced to kind of go back to square pegs in round holes, and I just wasn't looking forward to that. What's your thoughts on the lineup, Tarik?
Yeah, not even so much. I'll say more so during the match, but yeah. So I've come to accept that for whatever reason, Ortega is got the number 1 shirt right now, and maybe Ederson. There's a reason. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's something else. I don't know. But Ortega has the number 1 shirt, and that is what it is. So I've kind of accepted that. Again, I don't think there's. I do think there is a drop off from the distribution standpoint. I don't think it's huge. So you rock with it. It's kind of hard because we only have so many options. But when you see Grealish really cooked in the last match, you want to see him go out there again. Now, again, maybe he just physically can't go yet.
Mm-hmm.
You see Daku do his thing. You want to see him go out there and do it again. I would much rather see Nunes through the middle than to see Gundo right now. I really would. And again, that doesn't mean that Gundo's not a better player or hasn't had a better career or all of those things. But what we need through the middle is some physicality, some pace. And Nunes gives us that much more than Gundo does right now. One of the things I've seen, Gundo, Lewis, and even Gavardiol, it's like they are very suspect when it comes to being pressured. It's like basketball. You run a trap, who's not a good ball handler or who can do drills that in training and practice, but can't handle pressure in a game setting. And they just they blitz those 3 players, and we kept turning the ball over. And we have to get more options through the middle. And I don't think right now, I think Lewis needs to sit down. I think Gundo needs to sit down. I mean, that's just through the middle. I think Walker probably needs to. No, not even Walker. Probably Walker needs to sit down. We have a lot of players that are out of form, and I guess we're stuck trying to let them play their way back into form because we don't really have any other options. But it's disappointing. But yeah, I mean, the rest of it is what it is, man.
All right, Mr. Walker's bestie, or you got something to say to tell us why we're wrong for feeling our way about your boy?
I don't give a fuck, man. Y'all do what y'all want. It is what it is, bro. Like, we're gonna keep saying like it's one person when there's really like 5 players on the team made a bunch of mistakes. Like that first goal, even though Walker played people on side, Gundo easily got once again dispossessed. Like it wasn't even close. It wasn't like a real tackle. It was like he just lost the ball, bad touch. And then like that messes shit up. So the game is the game, bro. Like I'm done defending. I know who's the greatest right back in Premier League history, and I'm gonna stick with that. I know who's my captain. I'm gonna ride with that.
But I agree
also
with you. He is the best right back in Premier League history. He's probably the best right back that we've had. All of those things are true. I just happen to think that it's also true that he is in a terrible run of form right now and needs to get time off because, again, I agree with you. It's never one player. There's always, a combination of events that take place that happen to get us where we are. But typically, he's involved in those circumstances or those events that take place.
I mean, he's involved in them, but also like. But I would say this part, right? Like we love the kid. We do the age thing, right? So of course he's a senior. He's a older player. He's the captain, and he doesn't make the worst mistakes. Like what Vardiol did in those matches that week, where he had the worst week possible as a defender, is met with kid gloves because he's young, which it should be. I get it, and those mistakes are far worse than playing somebody on side. They're far worse than Gundo missing a touch. Like Vardiol literally lost us 6 points. And I think like if you want to have honest conversations, like let's be honest about who's making the worst mistakes at the worst times versus like, oh, who's old, who has family drama, who's easy to kind of come at and like all that. But like when we talk about on the pitch, the mistakes are coming from like everywhere. I think only Ruben Diaz
if
on
we
that
talk
on
about
that
if we
sheet.
talk
Hold on, one
about
second, hold on.
go
Because you
ahead.
had your time.
You
Hold on.
good. You
I
good.
will say this. The back five of Rico, Gundo, Vardiol, Diaz, Walker, everybody made mistakes with Diaz. He's the only person I saw in that back five that was like doing their job correctly. Every other person, every other man made a mistake, like or made multiple mistakes, right? And so when you get into that match, like we can obviously pinpoint blame however you want to spin it. I would just say like the team's not in the best form, and when you don't have the best players in every position, like we said, Nunez is out of position. You don't have Foden on the pitch. You don't have obviously Kova, who I think would be a great option if he was there, better than Mundo in that position. Everybody, it trickles down. Like we don't do Reaganomics here, but it's truly a trickle down effect when you don't have your players who are not available, right? Like, damn, I hate Reagan so much. Sorry, but oh god, I read an article and it pissed me off. He really fucked up this country. But yes, Kyle Walker is not the only problem on the pitch, and I hate that people make it like he is when he's not. That's my only point. It's like everybody fucks up, and I hate that it's like pinned on one person because it shouldn't be.
I mean, ship goes down with the captain, innit?
Yeah. And then the former captain should hold the ball and like make good passes. I don't know. Like nobody wants to go on Gundo, but Gundo's fucking up like all the time.
I literally just said he don't need to be
widespread.
playing.
Not you. Not you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like widespread. It's like, oh my God. But like I'm like, wait, Gundo fucked up. Like he's the one that made the mistake. And yes, that made Kyle Walker be offside, like play him on. But it's like Gundo, he's not supposed to lose that ball. That's his job, is to hold that shit and then get it out, kick it out of bounds, but don't lose it, and then a transition happens. So it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, Gundo, he doesn't seem to be the guy that we need at the moment. But what I will say is he does seem to be getting himself in better positions more. Like he's now actually starting to get us one or two chances where I'm like, oh my God. So like that's a good thing. Maybe more rest will help with that. He's learning where he needs to be. He was always like the guy who played in like the half spaces, and those spaces have kind of changed with the players and things like that. I'm hoping he will get it figured out. I'm also hoping we can get players back happy and healthy, so there isn't so much on him that he can just kind of float around, find this place where he can be helpful on the attack. And also just being brave in those tackles. Like you can just tell that he's all tentative. A lot of the players are tentative. And someone on Blue Sky made the great point. I don't want to say the wrong person, so sorry for not giving you the name. But they were just like, hey, yo, they saw Rodri go out with an ACL injury. I'm sure for a bit they might be a little tentative in tackles and things like that as well, and especially our elder players like a Gundo type of vibes, where he also had a pretty serious knee surgery when he came to City.
That's cute, but at the end of the day, these are players, man. You can get hurt in training, you can get hurt at any point. So if you're gonna play, you gotta play. If you're not, if you're gonna go half, then go sit down. That's just real talk. And I watched Gundo pull out of tackles in that match. Mm-hmm. Go sit down, man. He doesn't need to be playing. I'm looking forward to the day when Kova is back, because Kova needs to come in and Gundo needs to go to the bench. I don't even want him. I want him to get rest. Go sit down. I want Lewis to go sit down. I advocated for Rico playing on that right side. He does not have the physicality to play through the middle against when teams press us. He can keep the ball and, he can do his little dribbles or whatever. But if you put big bodies, which is what's happening, they're just muscling him off the ball. He's too little. He can't. He's, what is they get a little in basketball. They throw the little hand down. You too little. That's what they're doing to this dude. They straight muscling him. He's a little baby, and like they're running over him. And I need him to go sit down.
Yeah,
So
I need him to go
Tarik,
sit
I'm gonna
down.
bring this up for people that weren't there for the pre-match show or weren't there for that missed that. It's like I literally meant he's the tiny side. Like he's a baby who is playing out of position because in reality, he's supposed to be David Silva. He's supposed to be our black David Silva. Like, and his skill set, his size, his stature, like all those things go into, you are 8. You are up. You are in that. You might do some recovery runs, but your goal is to be forward. Once you are met with the monsters of the midfield, I made the point that like David Silva always had KDB, Fernandinho, Yaya Toure. He had giants around him so he could be small and not be out like, I'm just going to get pushed off the ball or whatever. I got people to help me out. Whereas now with no Rodri, that trickle down effect, shouts to Reaganomics, it's there. Like he is out. He is literally out on his ass. And it sucks because it's like, it's not his fault that he can't grow anymore. He's done. But he's just like, he shouldn't be in that position. And that's the difference between like when Cancelo first did the role, right? Cancelo was the first invert. Cancelo's a big player. He's a solid 5'10". That changes everything when you talk about being in the middle and making those things happen. When you're 5'7" and you're trying to do that defensive midfield combo and you don't have the real pure pace, like you are at a physical athletic disadvantage. Not a skill disadvantage, but just the pureness of like what you can do with your body. And we need Kova back. I would love to see a Kova Grealish double pivot. I think that would literally change our lives if you could do that, right? Like you put a Kova Grealish double pivot, Kevin at the 10. I'm leaving Reggie on the bench. You put Savinho on one side, you put Doku on the other, and you give me Haaland up top. I think we go on a run. But health is wealth, and we don't have it. And so we'll see if it comes in a new year. But yeah, like this match was a tale of like, hey, the fight was there. Rico fought. He gave us the equalizing goal. He is an amazing like servant to the club, the slap of the badge. Like he is steady through and through.
Man.
And we're not in that position if he's 3 inches bigger. Like if Gundo's 3 years younger, if Grealish is on the pitch and able to play, like we know the reasons, and that's why I can never like rule us out because like we're still within striking distance until it's March or April. I would never count us out, but you also need to say like we need everybody to be back by the new year. Like it needs to be a full 24-man squad and just ready to go. Aside from Rodri, of course, but like by February, like we need our players like 100% healthy, and then we have a chance. But until then, it's always going to be an issue every match because very few players are in their best positions without a full healthy team around them.
And I don't want to sound I want to add some positive, give some roses to Nunes. Like he obviously is just like Pep. They're making the best of the situation. Is he a winger? No. I've said over and over again, he's over there because he's fast. He's great in open space, in transition. Pep has said that over and over again. And he still manages to find a way to contribute. He got an assist. Yes, at the end of the match, did he start having some kind of like dummy moments? But that's also if we have a full staff, a full roster, we'd be able to sub him off and be like, thank you for doing great. But, you get tired. What is being asked of him is a lot. So, maybe he misplaces a pass coming to him and he lets go out of bounds and, some silly things like that. But for how some people rate him, then for what he's able to do for the club, I feel like he's outperforming. He is overperforming. It's very nice to see that of him. He in this story of where we're kind of realizing possible like bad spots with, and it's not even bad spot with Lewis because even We know he needs to be further up, but it's also just like, when is he ever going to be able to get to that position? Because sure, KDB is going to leave, but then there's Phil Foden, and potentially there could be other players coming in that might also take the spot. So it's just like, we know where he is best at, but will we ever get to see him in that position? So, yeah. I mean, anything else before we get out of here?
So never mind. I'm not gonna do it. No, I mean, so
Do it.
Let's go.
I was watching this match. Now, to your point, you called out the fact that Rico got a goal, right? And if you go off of outcome, you would say, "Oh, he got a goal," but then he ended up getting the second yellow, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Even before the second yellow, even before the goal, I was like, I don't know how. I wish I knew how many times he lost the ball. I probably could look that up real quick.
In a second,
I feel like he lost the ball a ton of times. It says dispossessed twice. That's not true. There's no way that's true. There's no way.
Dispossessed, and you have actually giving the ball away, right? Like, so yes, both of those things combined with what you saw for sure.
But ultimately, I don't know that Rico Lewis. I don't know that he is a big player for us. I don't think he ever becomes that. Not because he's not technical, not because he's not talented, not because he's not a good kid. I just don't think he's going to ever, because again, he doesn't have the physical stature necessary to be able to compete at the highest levels. And he can do a job.
What about if he's in a different position?
He can do a job.
Yeah,
but even as an 8 on a regular basis, he's going to get eaten up.
If he's supported with size around him, no.
I don't think, and again, maybe I don't think that he has a long-term, like, he loves the club. Obviously, he's been here as a kid. Maybe he stays here forever, but I don't know that he's ever like that dude for us. I don't know.
What's the difference between him and Foden? What's the difference? They're the same size.
Phil gets pushed over a bit as well, but it's not. I mean,
even
I watched Rico just get eaten up in the last 2 to 3 matches, and the more we lose, the blueprint becomes, because every team now, we're like, so I grew up in the 80s, right? I was born in 76, grew up in the 80s watching basketball. The Lakers were finesse. The Lakers were my team, but they were a finesse team. The Bulls, when Jordan came around, they were a finesse team. They got beat up by the Pistons. The Pistons knew we just beat them up. They had, quote unquote, a whole book out, the Jordan rules. Everybody knew what they were going to do. We're going to beat this dude up. They had to figure out, they had to learn. That is what's happening to us right now. We used to be the ones that you talked about, our press and getting on top of teams, turn them over early. We get early goals because we turn them over because we're so aggressive in our attack, in our press. We are being pressed right now, and no matter how technical we are, we're turning the ball over. Gundo was always great technically. He's turning the ball over all the time. Rico Lewis has quick feet. He can move the ball. He can do all these things, but he's turning the ball over because they're just coming at us with such pressure. And now there's like, if I'm a coach, this is the blueprint. This is the blueprint. We got to press them. They'll give the ball away. So what is the difference between him and Phil Foden? Phil Foden's gotten more goals, more assists, and he's playing as a 10, not as a defender or as a midfielder. That's really all I can tell you.
Yeah. Sure. Agreed.
I mean, does Rico have the half turn? I mean, he can move in space. I don't think he has that
He
half
can
turn.
do it. Oh, we saw it in Champions League. He can do it a bunch of
I
times.
think, yeah, you
It's just
can.
like,
I mean, if we said Rico
Yeah.
was going to play as a 10 and he's pretty much devoid of the defensive responsibilities, it really is stay up. You're kind of in the pocket behind the striker or whatever. Kind of to a certain extent, like what, because again, when he got the ball in the box, he was able to turn and get the goal, right? And we've seen him get those shots off. Sometimes he makes them, sometimes he don't, but he's gotten into those positions and gets those shots off. But outside of the final third, I think he is somewhat of a liability everywhere else on the pitch.
I'm trying to
And
agree.
I
think
did not,
he needs
and I
a true
did not
4-3-3.
say that. I did not say that at the beginning of the season because I was advocating for him over Kyle Walker. And again, I know he doesn't have the pace that Kyle Walker has, whatever. I'm not trying to kill Rico because I love the kid. He's a good kid, whatever. I mean, truly, he's like the age of my daughter, right? That's how he's my kid's age, really, truly. So I want to see him succeed, but I don't know that it's at Man City, even though I know how much he loves the club. And
I would
that
say
sounds
he's
crazy. That sounds crazy.
No, he's an amazing squad player, right? You need to fill out a squad.
Yeah.
You need quality subs off the bench. Who would love?
And
we
he's
wouldn't love
English, so
anything more than this kid.
absolutely.
Yeah, you see Rico come off the bench in the 60th minute. Oh man, we're great. We're locking this up. He's great, and he reminds me of the classic tweener in basketball, where like that combo guard or that forward who's not too athletic, but he really should be a 4, but he's only 6'7", right? But he's not Draymond Green, so he's not excellent at something. He's just good at a lot of things, excellent at none. So what is it? Jack of all trades, master at none, right?
Yeah.
And that's Rico. And I love him for it, but I would say, like, obviously the difference with Foden is that Foden is a master at shooting the ball. That is his God-given gift. That man can shoot, he can score, we've seen it. Rico has some of that. He has a little passing, he has a little dribbling, but he's not excellent at anything. And he's small. So it's just like when you put all that together, now we have this situation where you are starting because you have to, not because we want you to. He should be as a 20-year-old. He should be on our bench coming in for the starters, but the starters aren't healthy. Like literally the trickle-down effect of Rodri being injured for the whole season changes the whole formula for the men's club. It's crazy. But if he was healthy, everybody would be in the right spots. Gunda would be a bench player. Rico would be a bench player. Maybe you have health with Kevin. And it's like, oh, this makes sense. But when you don't have those things, or you don't have a structure where Rico really should be in a 4-3-3, he should be an 8 in a 4-3-3. He shouldn't ever be a DM/RCB or whatever. Like, that's not good for him because they don't have the pace. But like, it changes a lot. So I hope that, reinforcements are brought in. I hope that he can still play. And thank God he scored that goal, because if we talked about this after losing to Palace versus drawing to them, everything changes, right? But he did get that goal, beautiful goal. I think the yellow card was bullshit. We saw the replay. He got stepped on, but he got a yellow card. And why can't you review a second yellow? Why not? Like, it's stupid. So this is where we get into other things. And I don't want to be that power. We just make excuses, but facts are facts, right? So, we moved to Juventus, and we gotta show up in Italy for the first time in a few years.
Yeah. How are we feeling about this match? Because City have to win every Champions League match to hit the magic number that they were saying to fans. And if we hit that number, in theory, you will avoid the playing game. I am not hopeful that could happen, but we start first with Juventus, and Juventus, they're not. They're going to play very good defense. Sorry, like that. That's Juventus. It's Serie A. They're not going to make it easy for us. I'm not putting anything. They're not Enter. Like, if you look at them in their last 5, 2-0 win, but a 0-0 draw, 0-0 draw, 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw. They will score as many goals as their opponent will make them. I think
We're gonna win this match.
Yeah, there we go.
We're gonna win. I'll say right now, 3 points. The Milan draw, the Villa draw, the Bologna draw 2-2 yesterday on Saturday. Ever since they gave up 4 goals to Inter in October, they haven't conceded more than 2. But like you said, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draws out of their last 8 matches. We're going in there to win 3 points. We're going to win 3 points. Like, they aren't going to scare us. Shouts to Weston Kinney. Shouts to Tim Weah. Love our Americans. But it's a whole different beast coming. Like, City has been put in a corner, and I feel like we come out fighting, bro. Like, I think I remember we went to Atletico Madrid, right? It was a different need. We didn't need the win. We needed a draw. We got the draw. In this case, we need the win. I think we go get the win. I think Kevin is ready. I'm praying Foden is ready as an option. Maybe he doesn't start. Maybe Grealish is ready because he had a rest. Like, this is 3 points we get. And I think this is where our run starts. This is the moment where we go, oh my God, City is 9 matches unbeaten. How did it happen? It started at Juventus. What's the name of the stadium? I always forget. In Torino, Allianz Stadium. Yeah. No, that's the Milan.
Oh.
Allianz Stadium.
Oh.
Yeah. San Siro is the other boys.
AC,
That's
AC and Inter.
AC Milan and Inter.
You're right.
But yeah,
you're right.
But yeah, Allianz, Inter Torino, shouts to Foul Mob because I did not know. I think this is where it starts, people. I think this is where we get our 3 points. Champions League, we're comfortable going the rest of the way, and we're moving. We're making things happen. How do you feel, Terry? Do you think we get the 3 points?
I want to say yes, but it's hard to say yes because I don't even know who's going to play. Because I mean, Rico can play in this game; he can't play in the next one. So it's just I don't know what the lineup's going to be. Who's healthy? But I do think that. Well, let me say it this way: I don't think we lose either way. I think we go in there, we get at minimum a draw. But I want to say we win. I guess I just don't know who's going to actually be healthy enough to suit up for us.
I actually see like a 2-0 clean sheet. I think that's happening. McKinney's out. Even just looking at, like, they have Vlahovic, but his expected goals in the Champions League so far this year compared to Holland is 6.26. His is 2.36. He's not really scoring the goals. He has an assist though. Well, that's exciting for him. Yeah. Douglas Luiz will probably be out, and he always balls out against us. So that's a good thing. No McKinney.
Have you guys heard the potential Douglas Luiz loan conversation? Have you guys heard that?
If he's hurt though,
I did.
I don't really know about that.
I don't know if I'm not sure if he's hurt, how hurt, whatever. But just talent wise, I would take him on loan in a heartbeat. We need physicality. We need. He's a talented player. I would take him in a heartbeat, and he's done it in the Premier League. I know he's struggling in that place. But Syria. Yeah,
they started Danilo at right back. If you have a healthy, ready Jeremy Doku, even for 60 minutes against Danilo, God bless. God bless. That man has nothing for Doku. And that changes everybody's outlook. Like, Doku is the most pivotal attacker outside of Kevin De Bruyne in our squad. If he is on the pitch with De Bruyne, those Belgians, shouts to Waffles, shouts to Fries, they will out here and like dominate for goals and assists. Like, I've never thought of Belgium in a higher regard than I have in 2024. I love Belgium. It's a crazy country. I want to visit it. I need it because they are like, if you put Doku on that pitch, everybody else gets space. They have no pace on the back line. It's Danilo, Gatti. Kalulu has a little bit of pace. Shout out to my African brother. Cambioso, Fagioli as a DM. Locatelli as a DM. They are walking in mud. Like,
Yeah.
we can press the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they only want to draw. They're not trying to get 3 points against City. They know what it is. They understand the assignment. So, like, we can go after them. And, yeah, Doku, Haaland, De Bruyne, they will lead us to victory. I got to be
Okay.
hopeful. I'm going to be hopeful. I was sad before.
I like
hopeful
it.
now.
I like it. Okay. Well, Manchester Derby on the weekend. Amarin started with all that bluster, all that talk, and now all the pie and all the face. I love it. I love it. Oh, Tracy Saddle. Oh.
3-0. 3-0 for Manchester City. Ciudad.
Vamos. Vamos. That's what we need. Oh man. I might try to find a rant. I hope it snows. If it snows, I'll do a knee slide in snow. I'll figure something out. Make a slip and slide.
We saw double hat tricks before. We literally have lived through double hat tricks with Fallen. That's who they are together. Fallen and Foden. So Fallen, they're gonna show up for this, bro.
Keep
I can't
on
wait.
falling.
Alicia Keys is ready for this one. There we go.
Oh, Tarik, how you feeling?
Well, I'm not as confident as Sharpie. Again, it'll depend on who we run out there. The thing that United has is pace. The thing that we don't do well against is pace in transition, because they're not going to try to keep the ball. They're not going to be able to. They're going to hit us on the break. Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, all those cats running at us.
Amad Diallo, he's involved.
Yeah, that makes me nervous, man. Real talk. And again, you never want to lose to your city rivals. So again, it just makes that nervousness amp up a little bit more. So what I think, God, I hope I'm wrong. I think it'll end up probably being a draw, but I'm not gonna. I never. Well, I don't know if I ever do that. So I'm gonna say we get a 2-1. We win by 1, so maybe it's a 2-1, maybe it's a 3-2 because just balls going in everywhere. But I don't know that. I hope it's that close, because if it's as close as Sharpie is making it, then or that big of a blowout, then I feel good. I can be at ease. I don't have to be all stressed and whatever, because most of the time right now I'm on edge. My wife's like always like, "Team win? How you doing?" I just try to not let it ruin the rest of the day.
That's real love right there. That's real love.
I try to not let it ruin the rest of the day.
Oh man,
good, baby.
I am telling you, this is a week from now. Players who are just returning back from injury will be nice and healthy. I'm hoping maybe we'll have some surprises back from players. I don't know. I feel like this is a big situation. I'm going crazy. I'm feeling it. I think we're doing it. I think this is the match that just disrupts everything. It terrifies everybody. The head loss is City making the return as they batter down the Devils, a 6-2 victory. We have kids crying in the stands. I hope the camera people catch at least 2 of them. Maybe even an adult crying. I just need to see some rags in tears. That's it. Let's go, baby. We're back. We got all those. I know it sounded so negative throughout this episode, but I don't know. There's no better time than a Manchester derby.
Juventus, Man U, at the Etihad. We're gonna make this shit happen. It's gonna be a 6-point week. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, we have an amazing show for shows for you this week. We got Litstream, Amy, and Damali. We got Shady Gang in the house, and then 2 new people, Naldi and John Ben. Haven't had them apart. They're new to Shady Gang, so looking forward to chatting with them. And just in general, shout out to Eric Wall, recorded with them. That episode will be out soon. And in the next couple of weeks, we're recording with Aaron West, Andre Carlisle, Miles Gray. We talking to gonna have Howard Hawken and Lloyd Scragg on of 9320. We're getting more of them on. So yeah, we got some fun people coming, hopping on. We're gonna chop it up with, have some great conversations. Tap in with us, y'all. Show bros, let people know where they can find you.
On Blue Sky at Sharpie Charlie .bsky.social. Please come through.
Yeah.
You can find me on Blue Sky as well at Tarik Peterson, TARIK PETERSON at Tarik Peterson on Blue Sky.
Let's go. This is super exciting. Follow us on Blue Sky at shadesofbluenw.com. We're on Instagram. We're even on Facebook, which I think we have that third place where we can stream from. And Instagram, so it's like Facebook, does LinkedIn? It's like oh man. So just check us out. We out here. Rate, review 5 stars, like the subscribe, say the nice things in the comments. Appreciate you guys. You know the vibes. Shady Gang, Shady Gang, Shady Gang.